Hello, and welcome to another episode of Better Together on behalf of the Work Skills Foundation. I am Julie Smith, the Development Director, and I am here today with my co-host, Stacey Anderson.
Hello, Julie. Thanks so much for coordinating and having us all back.
Thank you. And how are you connected to the foundation?
I am on the foundation board. I'm also the chair of the development committee.
Perfect.
So very proud member and supporter of the Work Skills Foundation.
Thank you. And this month, our guests are David Snodgrass and Rachael Kronberger-Smith from Lake Trust Credit Union. So good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for being here with us. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, whatever you would like our audience to know.
I'm David Snodgrass. I'm the president and CEO of Lake Trust Credit Union. I've been with the credit union 13 years. It'll be 13 years. My anniversary is next week.
Congratulations.
And a resident here in Brighton now as a result of coming to Lake Trust. I moved from the Philadelphia area to be a part of that organization.
Oh, wow. Welcome.
Great.
My name is Rachael Kronberger-Smith. I am the Chief of Staff at Lake Trust Credit Union. I have been with the credit union just at 9 years anniversary in August. So I've been there for a minute. Thank you. I am not a native to Brighton area either. I came up from Flint area, came from Lapeer. Husband's job actually is what landed us here in this area.
Well, I'm so thrilled to have you both here. Just to personally say thank you so much for your support of our organization and the people and participants that we're able to support because of you. Lake Trust is not only a vision partner of ours, which we'll get into in just a moment, but you are a premium vision partner of ours. You're one of our most generous vision partners. And so thank you so much for trusting us to steward your funds and create some incredible impact with that. Can I ask, how did our story start together? How did you all become acquainted with the Work Skills mission?
So it all pretty much started a little bit around 2018. We had met with, I believe it was Julie and Tina Jackson, and we were offered to come and just take a tour of the building, meet the workers, see Artisan Corner, check out what you guys had to offer. And I think that's where our relationship began. We took a tour around the building. We saw the art room. We saw the work skills crew that was actually doing work in the back room. We've had many tours since then, but that was really where it started. And we haven't stopped. It's important to us to be part of Work Skills, to help support Work Skills and what you guys are striving for.
That's really great. That's really great. I can't thank you enough for taking a tour because that's exactly, I think, how people get to know what we do. Because I think we've talked about this on other podcasts too. There's a perception of what work skills is, and then there's the reality of what work skills is, and it's always so much more than that perception. So, David, did you know anything about work skills prior to that tour?
Very little, actually.
Okay.
I think the tour is, to your point, I think was what really opened our eyes to what work skills is. It's so much more than I think people perceive it to be. Mm-hmm. And as Rachael mentioned, we're a for impact kind of organization as well. As a credit union, we're a not-for-profit. We're a financial co-op. And I like to say there are companies that are for-profit, and then there are companies that are for impact, and that's who we are. Mm-hmm. And aligning ourselves with other for impact kinds of organizations is what we thrive on and what we're passionate about doing. And that was when we took the tour, got to meet the people, interact. It was like, yeah, like this organization has an impact. We need to be a part of it.
Thank you. Well, and I know Lake Trust is supportive of so many organizations in the communities where you are. How many communities are you in Michigan?
Well, we serve the whole state.
Okay.
But we've got approximately 25 relationship centers or branch locations across the state.
Nice.
I say approximately because like tomorrow another one could be opening. We're growing,
right.
And so the number keeps changing.
Well, and that's really interesting because that's how I feel about work skills. I feel like every time I give a tour, it's like, oh, and this is our most recent addition to the family of companies. So we really appreciate that. And I remember the first tour, but then I also remember when you brought your entire senior leadership team.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's great.
That was so much fun, and I'm trying to remember, but wasn't that when we were doing the Marilyn Monroe pin art? Like the
Yes.
big push pin thing.
Yes.
And I think Michelle brought it into the boardroom, and your people, we have pictures of your people actually working on that piece. So thank you.
That's wonderful. So just speaking of that, how has your organization been able to be a part of Work Skills, or, are they able to interact on your behalf just from our partnership?
A number of different ways. I think, I know as a result, we've hosted several pop-up stores, for example, in our headquarters location. And I know that has helped you in terms of selling merchandise, right?
They're always our highest dollar pop-ups. So thank you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's
they
so
are.
much fun. We do it at their headquarters. Have you been there?
No.
It's super cool. And our artisans make really big paychecks after we do that.
Yeah,
So thank
and
you.
we walk away with some really cool gifts.
Yes,
and,
you do.
And so it's unique, one of a kind. And I think that's probably generated, I would have to guess, a handful of tours from individuals in our organization that have wanted to come over and see Work Skills in action after seeing the pop-up store and buying merchandise. We also participate in your golf outing. So there's ways in which we sponsor and participate in that. So there's ways you can interact with Work Skills, multiple ways to interact. You can find ways to do it. It's not difficult.
Yeah. Do you feel like, I know you mentioned the pop-up shop, having that presence in your locations or in your headquarters, does it bring a lot of questions? Do people always want to learn just a little bit more? I feel like we have like this the ambassadorship of Lake Trust employees around us.
Yeah. I think, Julie does a fantastic job. She's usually there with a couple other volunteers to help manage the sales process because people come in and your crates leave a lot lighter.
Oh my gosh, I could
when you
carry
leave
them
it.
on my shoulders.
But it's an opportunity to publicize what Work Skills is all about, and our organization sees it. And then our organization takes great pride in the fact that Lake Trust is partnering with organizations
Absolutely.
like you. So it's bi-directional. It works both ways. And the team loves to see what we talk about all the time around our 4 impact efforts and what we do, but to actually see it in action. It's one thing to talk about it, but the pop-up store is like a manifestation of it in real life, right? So it's really, really, really popular and really valuable from our culture perspective.
My favorite one was when it was your Christmas party day, holiday party day. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to call it, but so they have this big, ginormous screen that drops down, and we were there. It was Ugly Sweater Day. I think it may have been Cookie Day, and they were playing Christmas movies all day. Like, it was so much fun. We just talk about being in the holiday spirit. That was fun, and I think that was the one where we sold like $1,000 worth of stuff.
Which they're waiting for you to come back.
I'll be right there. I'm on a podcast right now, but I'll be there soon, I promise.
Yeah, we're already getting asked when you're coming back,
Okay.
so we're excited for you.
Thank you.
And
Well,
we'll make sure it's maybe the same day. Ugly
Do you
Sweater
do
Day.
that every year?
Well, every
Pretty much, yeah.
Wednesday is warm Cookie Wednesday.
Yeah, we have Warm Cookie Wednesdays.
Wait,
What?
and it's also breakfast
Yeah,
day?
it's my favorite day of the week.
Okay, don't come
Thank
to
you
that
for being
one.
here today on
You
a
don't
Wednesday.
eat breakfast. You can't come.
Could probably smudge it that day.
So one of the other things, I know you've been involved with our golf outing for most of the years, and another benefit of you being a vision partner is you get a membership to WOW, which is the Women of Work Skills. And okay, segue, back up, whatever. Kara volunteered at our golf outing this year, and you know her, right? She was so helpful. She was great. But she's been your representative at the WOW meetings, so a lot of other women who support the Work Skills Foundation have gotten to know her, and she represents one of our vision partners. So I think it's a really cool relationship that she comes to the meetings.
When we're partnering, when we're like all in, it's not about writing like large ceremonial checks
Right.
for us. Like, it's not that we don't do that. We do that. But, we really look to align ourselves with organizations where our contribution in terms of time, resources, money, whatever it may be, is having a real impact. And like, we're going to roll up our sleeves and get involved. That's what we do.
It's nice.
We'd rather go far with someone in the accomplishment of what their mission is and what they're trying to achieve, rather than just be seen as a source of funds for fundraising efforts. We're more than that. We're
Right.
capable of more than that.
You don't do it just to get your logo out there to people. I mean, you stand behind what you do. And I'm not sure about volunteers. I know probably some people have volunteered from the organization, but I think generationally, there's someone near and dear to you who sort of showed up to volunteer at Artisan Corner a year ago in the summer.
Yeah, my daughter, my daughter Abby, she just graduated in May from college, but she spent thank you. It felt like a pay raise.
I'm sure.
It did. After 3 of them through school now.
Oh yeah, she's the baby, right?
Yes. Yeah, but she had the summer off last year and between her junior and senior year, and was having difficulty kind of finding some part-time work. And so I encouraged her to come to Work Skills and check that out. And so she spent the summer volunteering. And I can't even begin to describe the impact it's had on her. It was huge. And actually, some of the artisans and her remained like pen pals.
Thank you.
During the course of her senior year in school.
And where was she at school?
Guilford College in North Carolina.
Yeah, so she was not local. So
Oh my
they were pen
goodness.
pals.
And so they would correspond with each other. Artisans would send her some pieces of art that they would do. And it was just really amazing. She developed some real friendships with some of the artisans that experience has meant a lot to her. I'm thankful at the moment that she's working today, and gainfully employed, which impedes her opportunity to volunteer a little bit, but I know she'll be back.
Oh, the artisans will make sure she gets
Yeah,
back.
yeah,
Somehow.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, she needs to make money, Dad.
I agree. I encourage that.
Well, and I feel like that's such a great story to tell about the benefits that not only are artisans coming and learning a skill and, becoming self-sufficient, even artisans and other departments at Work Skills, but they're learning those relationship skills. And there's wonderful people in the community that help support them with that. And then they help support those other individuals or those people in the community with more friendships. And so I think that's a beautiful story. It's wonderful. Julie, I was hoping that you could explain what Vision Partnership is, because we've talked about it a few times. Do you want to just give a little rundown?
I'd be happy to, Stacey.
Thank you.
So our vision partners, as you know, because you were one of our first, you make a contribution annually, and we just kind of love on you all year. I that might not be a big grown-up adult word, but you've met me, so you know how I struggle with words. I was an English major, but it's so hard when I talk about work skills because it's just from the heart, and we appreciate your support. And then as a vision partner, we don't say, oh my gosh, are you going to sponsor the golf outing this year? Oh, look, it's Giving Tuesday. It's kind of a one and done. And we appreciate you so much because as a nonprofit, when you're planning your budget, I mean, it's hard enough to plan any budget, but as a nonprofit, you don't really know what will come in the way of donations. And it's huge to know that we have that sustainability. So thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, to your point, David, you were talking about how you're a for impact organization, which I'd love to talk a little bit more about that as well. But, one thing that I love to talk about when we are fundraising for Work Skills is how your dollar goes so far with this work. I mean, we direct so much of our energy into truly stewarding dollars directly to those participants, directly to the supports systems needed at corporate where we can fill in the gaps there. And so any donation is incredibly welcomed. But when we have investors like Trust, we're able to do so much more. So thank you so much. All right, David, I need you to describe to us, what is the definition of a for impact organization like yours?
I would say we define that as, so step back for a second. We're a financial institution. So that's sort of our swim lane, right? Like, we're not a healthcare provider, for example. We can't solve for all the challenges that are out there today, but we can improve individuals, small businesses, and communities. We can improve their financial well-being. We can't solve. We don't have the cure for cancer, right? Like we would love to. You know, that would be a wonderful impact to have, right? So we know what we are and what we can do well, and that's what we strive to do: is to improve individuals, businesses, communities' financial well-being. And it's part of a strategy that I can characterize very simply as to do well by doing good. It's this, this like rising tide lifts all boats kind of thing, right?
Absolutely.
And so the better and more, the stronger the well-being of the communities, which includes the people and the businesses in them, the stronger those communities are from a financial well-being perspective, the healthier they are, ought to result in additional business opportunity for Lake Trust. We're not a charity. I don't mean to suggest that that's what we are. It's part of our business strategy, and to do well by doing good. And so that's how we measure it. So we actually physically evaluate and measure the well-being of our membership on a monthly basis. Like, have they gotten better? Like, at the end of the day, as a result of Lake Trust being here, are you better or not? Like, and that's what matters to us. It's not how many commas and zeros are on our balance sheet. It's whether businesses are healthier and thriving. Right. You may have known, like, we've supported in Brighton, for example, during that whole streetscape experience where merchants were disrupted. We created a fund to support those small businesses to help them cover the financial strains that they experience as a result of the lack of pedestrian business in their shops. You know, why? Because if they thrive and continue to be there and prosper, there's more opportunity for all of us. So that's how we look at it. I feel like it's a rather unique perspective. It's not the customary perspective of a financial institution. Right. And so, but we know our swim lane. So that's why we partner with organizations like Trinity Health or Work Skills or others, because there's a host of other opportunities for people's lives to be improved. Right. We know what we can do, and then we'll partner with other organizations to help solve for other issues.
I love that you keep using the term partner, because when you were talking about how a rising tide rises all ships, I never know how to describe that. That is what our participants do. Is it's such a win-win. They learn life skills, they learn employment skills, and then in return, we were talking about an earlier podcast with Legacy and other businesses around town. In turn, we get to help provide support through, the work crisis or the staffing crisis or things like that. We get to help provide wonderful employees and different things like that. And so I think that when we talk about Work Skills mission, we talk about it as a partnership. And certainly from a fundraising standpoint, we look at it as an investment into the community and into the future of the organization versus just a one-time gift.
Right. Well, and one of the things that you said, and this goes way back, but someone said to me years and years ago, nonprofit is your tax status, not your mission statement.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And that has stuck with me. I mean, any nonprofit is or should be run like a business, but you stepping up to help us do our thing is a wonderful gift. And Rachael, you're just sitting over there looking cute, and I want you to talk some more. The funds that support the foundation, So the funds that support the foundation are out of a different pile, right? That's from the members. How does that work? The Lake Trust Credit Union Foundation?
Our Lake Trust Credit Union Foundation. That is where our donation does come from us to you, is through the foundation every year. Back again, starting from 2018. Our foundation was actually founded
2012.
In 2012.
Oh, wow.
And every year it just keeps getting better and better. And it was important for our whole Lake Trust leadership team to support work skills. One of the things we had been talking about a little bit earlier, you guys were talking about doing well by doing good. I wanted to kind of piggyback off of David on this. Our vision at Lake Trust is a world in which everyone thrives.
Love that.
So we're going to do well by doing good as long as we're helping everyone try and thrive.
Right. Because I'm still confused, how are those decisions made through the foundation? Do members have input, or is it just Lake Trust staff, or how does that happen?
So we have a Lake Trust board, or Lake Trust Foundation board.
Okay.
Actually, we have both. We have a Lake Trust board and a Lake Trust Foundation board.
Kind of like work skills.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Lake Trust Foundation board is comprised of our team members. David here is our chairman for the Lake Trust Foundation. We also have a handful of our other leadership team members that are part of the foundation board. And that is where they meet quarterly and go through everything that the plan is going forward. We have some great team members. Amanda Hutsey-Vickers runs the program, and she does an amazing job.
She did.
She's a beautiful little girl.
Oh,
Thank you.
Yeah, she's adorable. But Amanda and her team are doing an amazing job.
just kind of taking a step back here, if you met somebody or another organization or whomever that had absolutely no idea about work skills, what would you tell them?
So for me, I actually, because I live down Rickett Road off of Rickett.
Oh,
so
great.
I drive by Work Skills almost every single day.
Oh, hey.
So it's exciting because I'm like, I know what's in there, because people might drive by and be like, well, what's that building over on this side? And then there's another Work Skills building over here. Like, what is Work Skills? So my oldest, who was 20 years old, asked me that question. And I'm like, well, let me tell you. And for a kid, I can point to a cup or point to a mouse pad and say, remember how I got these from school or from work? I said, remember how I told you this came from Work Skills? I purchased this. And then I'll explain to him what the Artisan Corner does, how by me purchasing these few little items, how it's helped somebody thrive, help somebody live and, continue growing themselves. So just the small base of what Work Skills is how I share that information.
That's great.
So that's why I'm super excited for Artisans to come back so I can get the kids something.
Okay. David, anything to add before I go pack up the Artisan Corner stuff?
I'll just add, there's obviously Artisan's Corner and the Work Skills Foundation, but we're also business partners with Work Skills in addition to that. I think if I were to talk to another business person, and recently, I would say since COVID in particular, the commonality business owners or business leaders have with one another is the challenge around staffing people, right? And we've become partners with Work Skills Corporation and their staffing unit to actually bring new talent into our organization.
That's amazing.
So we've probably sourced a half a dozen or more
Great.
new employees at Lake Trust in our contact center that have been through the staffing resources at Work Skills. So there's the feel good aspect of what Work Skills is all about, but there's also the real business application for the services that Work Skills provides. That's what I said earlier. It's more than people think it is. Maybe you know of it because of the art program, but it's more than that. And I'm here to say that it's a benefit to my business as well. That relationship is a benefit to my business as well.
I thank you. And
wonderful.
This is exactly why we're doing the podcasts. Thank you, Rob and Wayne Media, because I'm out in the community all the time, and I have colleagues who are out in their different areas of the community all the time. But you're exactly right. Somebody might know Artisan Corner, but hey, did you know we have a residential program? Oh, we do production. Did you know? If you subcontract there are so many pieces to the puzzle. I really appreciate it when someone comes in for a tour, someone or many someones, because it's an opportunity to give an overview of all the things. I think, I didn't check today, but I think the last time I looked, we had 8 divisions in the corporation, living, working, and learning. And I can talk about everything kind of in a broad way, but then if you have a relative or someone who needs services, I can get you to the People Employment Services. If you're looking for workers, I can get you to someone in staffing. And it's so nice to hear you say that there's more, right? Because that's why we wanted to do this.
Yeah, absolutely. And having that tangible experience as a business owner to show the benefit of the work that we do is priceless. So thank you so much again for trusting us as a foundation, but also as a corporation with your needs from a business perspective.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's wonderful.
What do you think? Anything else that we want to talk about?
So I think we'll probably be coming back in for a tour soon. We have expanded our leadership team. We have a few people that may not know exactly who Work Skills is and
Great.
what Work Skills is about. So we'll be bringing them in.
Good.
So I'm excited for it. I feel like I haven't had a tour in a minute, so we'll be back.
It's very different. So there,
Yes.
if you haven't been there, we have our clinical services was our most recent division, and we now have, they call it Play Skills. It's a sensory gym. It's all bright colors, and they're climbing walls. There's a slide. There's a trampoline.
There's a trampoline.
I'll be there.
So like it's very, very different. Offices have moved, people are shuffled. I don't work out of that building, so when I do give a tour, it's always kind of like, oh, and here is no, it's not. So I love that. And even when you brought your leadership team, there were people who couldn't make it, right? So then the next week I'd have these 2 people and then those 3 people. And I really, really, we appreciate your support so much. We really do.
Yeah, and we're happy to announce too that next year in 2025, we will be focusing a lot of our funds towards the Artisan Corner leg or division of the corporation and ensuring that the artisans have everything that they need to be successful. So we're looking forward to partnering with you all on that too and getting our peeps what they need.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, I know it's growing and we're so excited to be a part of it.
Any final thoughts?
No, thank you. I mean, you spent a lot of time thanking and appreciating on us. That's great, but I'll flip the script and say thank you for what you do and what the impact that you're making in our communities where we live, work, and play. It's like it's really, really important. We're so glad that you're doing this kind of work, and the least we could do is be supportive. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you, you and you. Let's just everybody say thank you all
Thank
together.
you.
So
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you for watching or listening to this episode of the Better Together podcast for the Work Skills Foundation, and have a great day.